everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm taking part in the Spooktacular Night YouTube hop organised by Rachel, and everyone on the list, which you will find in the description box below, will be doing a spooky / Halloween themed layout. So what I will be working on is my first story in my October Daily-ish album, and this is a story of me trying a pumpkin spice latte for the first time. Justin has a cafe at the bottom of his building, and they were selling pumpkin spice lattes, so Emma and I made a day of it and went to go visit him in the city to try the pumpkin spice latte and to give him a visit while the school holidays were still on. Now, as you can see there, I have got a large photo which is printed to the same size of the page protector, and then I've got a little itty bitty photo which I'm cutting down to size there of my actual latte. I'm going to match that photo of my latte onto 3 pieces of paper, a little white border, a little pink border, which I wanted to match the color of my daughter's dress. And so she was wearing like a bright pink, and I didn't really have a bright pink in the products that I'm using for October Daily. So I've just decided to ink blend my own little piece here. And then I'm also going to then put the whole thing onto that black starry background, which is from Rosie's Studio. I had to go check that out. I completely blanked on the name. Anyway, so I'm going to mat that photo, and then that part of the card will be done. Then I'm going to move on to work on a little cluster which is going on the right hand side on that full page photo. Now, you would have seen I held up before a little circular element that says pumpkin spice and everything nice on it. That is actually a photo I took of the pumpkin spice latte top down, and then in Photoshop I removed the background and I added the little scripty phrase in Photoshop as well, just to act as sort of my title for this layout. I couldn't have it too big because obviously I'm working in a relatively small size, so that is why I'm going with a little bit of a smaller title, but I really do love how it looks. I'm using a font which I'll link in the description below called October Memories maybe, and it's a really beautiful kind of spooky looking scripty font, so I like how that looks. So I'm just doing the final touches on this little card here. As you can see, the black background is standing out more towards the bottom than what it is towards the other 3 sides. So I thought the perfect thing to do is to do a little bit of stamping. I started off stamping in this distressed oxide, which is a tangerine color, I think. But then I remember I have this stamping pad from Paper Person Shop that's called Pumpkin Spice, and so of course I had to use that. And it's just a stamp from my stash. I don't even remember who made it, and I don't think that the shop is open anymore. But it just says more coffee please, or just more coffee. And the reason I use that is because whilst I did enjoy my very first pumpkin spice latte, I felt that it was too sweet, and I really just prefer for my coffee to taste like coffee. Anyway, now I am going, and I thought I might punch using one of my punches that little circle photo that I took, but unfortunately it just didn't. The punch that I had was too big, and so I just fussy cut that out. And I'm going to next up take one of the papers from this Doodlebug Designs paper pack, and I'm going to create a little banner or a flag. I don't really know what you call this. Is it a flag? Is it a banner? I think it's a banner. I'm cutting that down to about 1.5 inches, and I'm going to turn it into a flag. Tell me in the description box below, is that a flag or a banner, because my brain isn't working. And then next to that, I'm going to build this little cluster. Now, those 2 little pumpkins that's on the paper there, they're from the Haunted collection from Tracy Reed, and I just got that today, and as soon as it was released, I downloaded a bunch of the sticker sheets and the papers from that collection because I love them. And then that little wood veneer piece of the spooky carved pumpkin, that is actually from an old October Stories by the Month kit from Ali Edwards. And so I quite liked how those three layered together. We don't have a lot of pumpkin themed stories that we can tell in October here in Australia, and so I really wanted to use as many of my pumpkins as what I could on one layout, because this is probably the only story that is going to involve pumpkins. So I stuck that banner flag thing down the bottom, and then I'm going to prop up my photo of my latte there, and I'm just going to put that on some very thin chipboard just to give it a little bit of dimension. I've said this in the last few videos as well, but when I'm working with predominantly paper products, which I am for October daily-ish, then I really want to make sure I get some texture and some dimension into my layout somehow, some way. And the way to do that in this layout is by propping up some of the elements to be a bit higher and adding that wood veneer, and down the track you will see I'm adding a little twine as well to a little flag. You can actually see the little flag I'm using. It says Hello Pumpkin. So I'm sticking down those two pumpkins. I thought I might swap them, but I decided not to. I decided to make them sort of go down the page, and then I'm putting that on, and then I put it on, and then I immediately take it off because I realized actually I want to back that with some black paper. So I'm grabbing that same black paper from Rosie's Studios, and I'm just going to back that onto this little pumpkin. I'm going to stick that down again. I loved using this particular full page photo because there was a lot of space on the photo to play with. It wasn't just faces. As you can see, it's kind of zoomed out, so I could have a little bit of room to play with down the bottom and also at the top. Now I'm going to add a little cluster of whimsical embellishments down the top, and I'm starting off by stamping this little moon and star stamp from scrapbook.com. I stamp it twice, but the second time I didn't pick up enough ink, and so you kind of don't really see it, and I thought, that's not a problem, I can cover that up, because as you can see I stamped that sort of on the black as well, and I did that on purpose just to test out whether I wanted the second stamp. So these little pumpkin enamel stickers are from Doodlebug Designs, and I'm just going to create a little cluster using these enamel stickers, these enamel stars, little enamel dots, and also some gold glitter punched out stars that's kind of going to sort of float up the page from between where Justin and Emma are seated. I lost this footage, but I also did a little bit of clustering on that photo of the latte as well on the left. And then I'm going to add my journaling. I decided to use this paper from scrapbook.com, but the journaling that I had printed kind of covers up a lot of that pumpkin, and I really wanted some of that pumpkin to show through. So I am doing the incredibly onerous thing, and I'm cutting this into strips and individually gluing them on. I have seen Leilani scraps do this, and it always seems much faster when you watch it on a video where they have sped it up. It took forever, and I'm like, this is just not for me. It looks great, and I really like how it looks and how that cluster of pumpkins is sticking out at the top there. But my goodness, it took a long time, and I probably, I say that, but I'll probably forget, and I will do it again because I actually really like how it looks. So that one is done, and let's see, what have I got coming up? I think, oh yeah, now I'm going to add that little flag. That's definitely a flag, right? Yes? That might be a tag because it's got a little hole for the twine. Oh my goodness. Yep, the baby brain's real. Anyway, I'm going to add that just to finish off that little pumpkin cluster there, and this is where I'm adding the twine to create a bit of texture on this layout as well. Next up, I'm going to add my date just underneath that cluster, and when the date is added, this whole layout will be done. Thank you very much for joining me. I am very excited to see what all of the other paper crafters have done in this particular YouTube hop. So what you can do after you finish watching this video is go into the description box below and just keep watching. I've got all of the videos tagged down below and all of the channels, so you can just go ahead and keep watching them and get some spooky Halloween themed inspiration. Thank you very much for joining me on my video, and if you're new here, welcome. And I will see you all again soon with some new October documenting stories. Bye.